Congratulations, you have made it to Crowd Observations episode number 99. And what does that mean for you? Close to 14 minutes of stupidity on the road, like this guy in front of us not paying the attention he's supposed to pay. This turned out to be not very critical, but not paying attention goes very wrong very fast.
Sag mal, Mädel. Ey, Mann.
Sag mal! Was war denn das?
That was one of those nutcases who think the entirety of the road belongs to them. Similar with turning. Here we are nicely massaging that asphalt at 180 kph. The regular freeway joy, impatient people instantly getting on that left lane to pass somebody else. And of course without checking for traffic, you gotta make sure that scrapyards and hospitals stay in business. Back in town, here's a speed limit of 30 kph. Well, the Ranger gotta be places, no speed limits for him. Yeah, sure, this van was really crawling around, but I don't think the traffic code says, whenever there is a slow vehicle, all caution can be thrown out the window and you are entitled to drive like nobody else exists. We got a red light and you can see plenty of traffic passing by. Can easily kill you if traversing this with a bike, but certainly not a matter of concern for our Clark Kent here. Others become rather creative at lights. This dude here doesn't want to wait at the left turn signal like the camera, so he goes for an option that is barely any less illegal. This Audi is approaching fast, already flashing his lights because somebody is on the left lane. And you will see that he really doesn't like to be braking and does it in the last second, indicated by those flashing taillights. And this camera driver here is also somebody who really doesn't want to brake for others. That other driver was very ignorant and oblivious, but so was the camera driver. And before I'm gonna take the hammer of judgment, we got another clip from this dude. So, even though this other driver really wasn't doing the best lane change ever, he did try to get far away from the camera driver to be moving over far enough ahead of him. So why did our man then step on the gas like crazy? Both of those crashes could have been easily prevented, and to me this smells like intention. You know, like insurance fraud from the camera driver. But even though I don't know what the officials said, and in my opinion the camera's driving is really fishy, the other driver has messed up hard. And why is that? Because as it turned out later, it was not his car, he did not have a driving license, and after a bit of back and forth, he just drove away and so basically committed the crime of hit and run. That one is gonna burn for a long time. We are on the bike now, and look at this wide road you could pass with so much distance, unless you are a douchebag in a Ford Ranger. Who knows, maybe the same driver as from that earlier clip. Behind us is a road sweeper, and as our man doesn't see another car coming, he leaves his parking spot before the sweeper. And this guy here now needs to retaliate via brake check until everybody is standing, like every proper caveman would do. Turns out it is rather tricky to look through a solid object, so our man could not anticipate some driver who's illegally overtaking now. This kind of pointless aggression makes the world a worse place than it could be. How can you miss that your headlights are off in the black void of the night? Yeah, I know, the day driving lights are running, but they are not even slightly illuminating the road as much as the proper headlights, so my question remains. I can't even really make fun of him, because driving almost blind is nothing to laugh about, when such people easily miss any kind of obstacle and we have a major crash. Oh, what the hell? Could be a case of distraction or maybe something like microsleep. In any case, very lucky that no real crash happened here. This crazy maneuver caused his cargo to slip out of place, as we can see in this bump in the side here. Oh, look at this! How insanely close is that van driving to that other van? But behold, it's not two vehicles, just one van with a really damn nice trailer. Ah, beautiful. We are entering a freeway, which has a rather short combined entry and exit lane, where people quickly need to figure out who's entering or leaving at which point.
Oh, Leute! Alter, ey! Ihr habt doch wohl den letzten Schuss nicht gehört, oder was?
Here we got another road with an acceleration lane, and at first, nothing special happening here. Our man braking for the others to enter the road, but this white car here seems to be on a mission. Squeezing past this minivan on a single lane road, you got it, pal. We got a green light for a while, so the crossroads got a red light for quite a while now. Wow, a bus so blatantly ignoring the red light, you don't get to see this very often. Some guy is entering his car over there and supposedly wants to drive away now. He certainly checked for traffic, right?
Leute, was ist? Ja, Augen auf!
But sure, you are such a safe driver when you want to pull out of your parking spot with folded-in mirrors. Whenever a crash happens, it must be the other people's fault. But even when the mirrors are in proper position, what does it matter when people don't use them? In Germany, drivers have to stop when pedestrians want to use a dedicated crossing. And it is very much advised to lower the speed around those crossings, especially when the weather and light conditions make it tougher to even recognize a person. Ah, another driver without lights! But he's not the brain-dead one in this story, it's this one! So he changed from the middle to the left. We don't know why, because he gets back immediately. Now he wants the right lane, even though the road markings forbid to do so. What are his intentions? Does he want to leave the freeway now since he's still going for the right lane? Nah, he doesn't. He gets back to the middle lane after several pointless and dangerous lane changes. And many people like to deliver dangerous lane changes. Way too many. Here we got one lane for going straight and one lane for turning left. Speed limit is 30, so it makes for a really great karma score that a school bus driver seems to be in a hurry and is passing over the turn lane with quite the higher speed. For this, our man gives horns and flashes, which suddenly vaporizes the haste of that driver so that he got all the time in the world for complaining. Some road out of town where you can see a mile ahead. What could ever go wrong? Huh, incompetence. That could go wrong. I am sorry that you might be having a headache tomorrow, because this clip here is a facepalming masterpiece. It's about those two cars in front of us there, and it seems like there must be some sort of beef going on. So first, the minivan enters the exit lane in front of the Audi with very little distance, for which he receives a true lightning storm from the Audi. With this taking place, the Audi doesn't really like to keep the rear position in this race. A few moments later, the lanes are splitting up and the minivan driver feels the sudden urge to get back in front of the Audi driver, which gets the real party started. If you watch closely, you can see the frame of the Audi starting to glow slowly because of the boiling anger of its driver. Things are not getting any better. The Audi now very closely swerving all over the place behind the minivan, which motivates that one to pointlessly start braking. Now that is motivating the Audi driver to pass over a solid line and retaliate with a brake check. Yup, there we go again with classic caveman methods. The Audi driver should have been buying a smaller car so that he wouldn't have the space to carry around his enormous ego with him behind the wheel. Minivan driver now had enough and wants to pass him again, but at least he can hold himself back well enough not to do this when traffic is approaching. Now it finally looks like they are done with their ridiculous bullshit. So after a bit more, the road becomes clear and the minivan wants to pass again. The Audi driver doesn't seem to be finished with his bullshit and steps on the gas too, not letting the other one pass. They are exceeding the speed limit quite a lot doing so, staying on both lanes all the time. Bullshit's not over yet. After the minivan needed to cancel the passing, the Audi gets back to driving slowly and the camera driver gets back to them again. I can hardly put into words how much I despise such scumbags. Such behavior in traffic is disgusting. And since we need to calm our temper now, we got this scene which shows rather desired interactions between drivers. The light in front of us is red, so our man stops very early to let those trucks out of the side road. Especially that one, who wants to turn left, has a hard time accomplishing this. His temper now certainly got improved. We all know phones in traffic are bad, so better get rid of it before driving off. Classic story, invisible Christian being invisible on his bike. So when one biker is invisible, two bikes would need to be twice as invisible. Does that check out?
Hey, Alter.
The other one's got a camera too, and I can see them. Doesn't seem like they are very much invisible after all. How can drivers actually be that oblivious on the road? Before thinking too much about that, I'd like to calm my temper again with this dude having fun with those posts. I would honestly refrain from doing that. One wrong move and you could severely injure yourself on those. Even thinking about it makes me cringe hard. So better don't do that, but give you the final words. That there is another episode for you to watch and also the playlist with many more of them. If you might be kinda bored, go binge it, and we'll meet again in this place soon. Cheers!